All right, folks, I am here. Okay, a lot of people in the chat have been talking already. So we're we are here um, now. First thing out of the gate is okay. I have to go handle something. Fifi, what? Okay, you need to switch it to English, right? Okay, let's go. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Okay, you watch that. Oh. Okay, so the big girls are home today, and that's why I've had some issues getting started. Um, so we are starting a bit late here, and we are just gonna be. I'm gonna try to be quiet because my wife is having a meeting over there, which gets me into the next thing. Is this is the last stream that we'll do at the 3:30 Central time because Lee has a new job and we share an office, and it's very awkward to arrange for me to be streaming when her workday ends at 4. Uh, yeah, so we are going to change the schedule. Uh, Starting next week, Tongues and Runes will begin at 8 a.m. Central Time on Saturday. So I don't know how many of you guys will be, how many of the same crowd will be here. It's going to be harder for some people, be easier for some other people, but it's what works for me. um, well, Miles, you're Eastern time. You're not up by 9. Yeah. Um, yeah. So so the new time here. Let me pull up something to. Uh, so let me pull up a Notepad plus plus. So never mind that. There we go. Can you guys see that? No longer at 3:30 p.m. No, it's not no longer at 3:30 p.m. because it doesn't work, especially a day like today where the big kids have no school. I have been called away several times because there was a bug, or her movie was in the wrong language, or those kind of things. So we will get that sorted out. Now, I have figured out how to do syllables and how to do stress and stuff, and that is going to be very helpful. If I apply these rules here, you can see now this means a heavy syllable. This is annoying, I know. I don't know how to clear just heavy. It would be nice if I could clear the heavy tag once I've assigned stress, but keep the syllabification. Yes, Jake, I will stream for 2 hours. I tried to convince my wife to let me stream for 4 hours, but she was like, "No, that's not something to do." But yeah. It's a change. I'm thinking, Edgar, I know you are watching this after the fact. You have no excuse not to show up live. No, that's fine. Whatever. Whoever. Yeah. So, nope. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I will just be starting that next week. So, looking at the calendar on October 12th. I was resistant to doing this because, often there's community events on Saturdays, but I don't think those typically aren't going to start at 8 a.m. So that should be fine, So let's get to this. I've figured out how to get stress working. I also figured out how to do non-syllabic vowels in order to mark diphthongs. It's just easier to do it that way. I don't think there's an easy way to do tie bars in Lexergy. Miles, okay. Miles has to prioritize the football over the conlanging, huh? Well, we'll see. You have to make the heavy rule separate from the syllables to clear it. Well, let's not worry too much about that, because for now, our end result is going to get rid of the syllabification in order to do a romanization, right? So for now, I can just sort of go here and say syllables clear, and then if I apply that, then all of it goes away. Later on, I will figure out how to do that. But let's open up our notes. Actually, I do want to show you guys one other thing, and that is I have finished my spell incantations up to level 3 spells, and I'm not going to show you everything, but I just wanted to highlight some of the kind of work that I'm doing with these incantations. So there's lots of them that are very simple, but for example, that's a decent example. This spell, protection from energy. Gosh. Well, magic circle. That's the one I was looking for in the first place, right? Magic circle. You need to choose which kinds of creatures can't enter the magic circle. So I had to go through and decide, okay, I am going to figure out what are the names for celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. I actually have a couple of names for undead, but the one I decided here is Pimengeu, false life, right? Um, Celestials, Kitekeu, the high beings, evil beings for fiends, and then fae, relevant to this season, Enyiba Apig, Enyiba Apig. If I could pronounce Draconic correctly, okay, Enyiba Apigeu is the exchangers of names. So I thought about within the mythos of, I don't know if there's ever mechanics for this in D&D. There really should be for name stealing. But it's very apt for like, no, this is in Ndakaga. Because so these are called the high beings in the sense of literally high, or it's figuratively, but not in a sense of them being greater or anything. It's it's because in Ndakaga, celestials are called the heavens are called the land above the dream. The idea I have is that, like, is that the dream is the astral plane, and then you have to go beyond the astral plane to get to the heavens and the hells, right? Whereas the Feywild or Fairy is actually very much up next to the prime material plane. So that is called like it's actually called Apgefu. Apgefu. It's originally meant like the facing world or facing, right? However, apge changed from face to exchange, and then that influenced getting this name, which is kind of a poetic name. I may come up with a loan word once I know what Sylvan calls Fae, and some other things, but this works for the purposes of this spell. Yeah. I got that from reading about the mythology and the development of the mythology of the other world, because especially with Christianization and even to some extent with Roman influence, the beings that sort of became fairies are like closer to Earth, whereas there's a division of them being spirits that are close to the earth, or even like underground or something, whereas the gods of the greater gods, or later on the Christian God, is separated from the earth and is more transcendental, right? So distance away in the sort of celestial system makes sense. Now let's pull back in here. We had now we didn't actually do vowel reduction. What we did was this happens. This is what happens in a closed syllables. And or you could call them checked syllables, right? And interestingly, in the front vowels, this is like higher articulatory effort, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's that's the way I see it. Is that you enter fairy, either you deliberately find a place that is close to it, or you are lost somewhere in the wild and you happen to get into it, but there's not a glowing portal or anything. It's like, you stepped through, you just suddenly notice that things are strange, right? So we have this. I think for vowel reduction, I'm thinking that we're going to go in for vowel reduction. I think what we're going to do is we've got a couple of options here. We can revive this idea of let's actually, no, I want to yeah, we can still do laxing, right? We can still do laxing. So we can have that happen. Or we can do laxing in the high vowels, and then these vowels all end up going to schwa. And I think that we can deal with that. Here we would probably just have this go to schwa anyway. The idea I have is like we can neutralize a lot when we're reducing vowels. Whereas in just the closed syllables, we were keeping everything the same in order to keep things like working. So, but here's what I will do. I will make this one a quick poll, maybe more sort of advisory, to see how do we reduce vowels. And we'll do laxing. So it's just, that would be this one. Or we will say high laxing, non-high to schwa. Do I have a ping? Okay, let's see where you guys are at. Oh, let's get everybody voting, okay? So we'll see. Then we need to see about what we're going to do for some consonants. By the way, if you live in the United States, I have received my ballot already. This is the envelope. I'm not showing you the actual ballot because I'm not sure if that's allowed. So, uh, the so do please go and vote in the actual elections. Oh, jeez. Okay, we've got half and half. According to my thing, there is one vote out. So whoever that is, I will give you one more minute. That's great, Miles. You go do that. Is that actually how much is that did you see? Figure out. Okay. When this gets to 3 minutes ago, I will end it and I will make a decision somehow. Okay. Now we have 8 votes. Okay. I'm gonna end that poll now. Well, you know what? uh, when we don't have something, when we don't have it, then it goes to fate. Got a coin here. I'll flip the coin. Or I prefer to twirl the coin. Heads is the first one. Tails is the second one. It came up tails. So we're going to do that. So what happened there? I did not intend for that to happen. I don't know what it thinks I want to do. That is very, very strange. I want to delete the table. Okay, now, okay, so. Yes, a D2. I don't have. You can make D2s, you know, in one of their boxes. I know that, like Vsauce in one of their boxes had a D2 and also a D1. Okay, so that should be very easy to implement. So we can just go, let's see, how did I do that? Specify that it's not stressed. Just need to, yeah, so. Okay. Okay, I need to go and check on things. I will be right back. Okay. Oh, okay. Lee actually ended her shift, um, so we can deal with this. Okay, so. how do we get into, where's the syllable examples? Yeah, so yeah, syllable and heavy. Okay, it's just telling me how to do syllables. Yeah, it basically is a Weeble, Topher. Um, how do we do reduction? I did reduction before. So I had um, mm, I think it's just okay. Ah, I have an IPA on. Okay. Is there a bug? Okay. Somebody is upset about a bug. I will be right back. Okay. All right. So, child is there. I am here. Okay. Um, how are we doing? Okay. We've got people. All right. I'm back and I'm ready to talk about this. So I will quickly see if I can get this done. If not, then it's something I can work on later while after stream. It's a fly and I can't track it down because it keeps flying around. How do I do multiple? Do I just no? I think I just have. I saw it. It was flying around. Oh no. Okay. Well, I'll keep an eye out. Okay. And this become. Yeah, flies don't stop. Mosquitoes a lot of times you can catch because they're slower. And then let's see what happens if I do this. Okay. Clearly this is not the right way, so I'll just go move into this. Okay. Trying to be quiet. Okay, so we can get into here. So I will implement this in Lexigy and get it all sorted out. Now, we were thinking about Grimm's Law, sort of we're going to have all the aspirates become fricatives, right? Let's see. Let's see how that works out. So, so do we want that to happen everywhere? I think before we do that, we want to have the S aspiration. Or we just have S. We're going to have S goes to H. Yes, S will go to H. And the T will become our new S.
You're funny.
Uh-huh.
Why are you saying letters? This bug is flying. Going.
Really? Oh, I don't know where it's going.
I saw something flying in the air.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep an eye out. If it flies in front of me, I will smack it. Okay? Okay. Okay. So, I want this to happen first. I think. Because I want. Let's see. So if I have this happen first, then I can end up with more aspirates and more fricatives out of it. However, if I do it later, oh no, I enjoy doing this, and I'm just working around how to deal with things. The schedule change will be taking effect, and then if I do this later, then I can have that H disappear. and in certain circumstances. Thinking about that. So let's see. So the thing I want to happen, either way, I want an S to exist when fricatives appear, because I want this to become a theta.
What's a theta, Daddy?
As a th sound.
My playing broken.
Right? I want aspirated T to become theta. I will allow this particular language to have thetas in one dialect. They will disappear eventually, but we'll get some thetas. And
Daddy, my plan is broken.
Rhea has done some conlanging stuff. Yeah. So we have, yeah, so I want this to become a theta. So what I need is to have something occupying this space in order to say this is not going to become S. Not necessary, but I mean, I like it to be like that. Let's see. So how will we deal with that? So we have. So the question is, which way do we want it first?
But I'm going to try my best to draw somebody shooting an arrow. But I don't know how to draw that, so I'm going to try my best.
Okay, you try your best.
I want little things to be left around, so it might be hard to see when I do it.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Kind of. So let's map this out. Where do we have S? We can have S occur before other consonants, right? And it can also occur in any place that another consonant occurs. So you can have at the end and such. I'm not concerned about that. If we end up with new aspirates, so the question is, like, what would happen with these clusters? Do we want... Okay, I think what we'll do is we will take a cue from Spanish. And what happens here is if there's something that comes before this, it still aspirates, but it triggers a reduplication in the consonant. And that happens see, do we want to have glottalized consonants? So the consequences of doing the S aspiration first or later would before or after this change are actually pretty substantial. Okay, I think actually this can be something cool. It might be something that like ends up being short-lived, but here's what I'm going to do. So we're going to have this happen. This whole thing happens first. And SC clusters become CC clusters. So it goes to HC, right? These will be obstruents actually, but that's fine. If we have S glide, S and approximates, then that can lead to a voiceless approximate. I definitely want to have that. That's cool. But this will lead to this, but it will be I'm hitting the wrong button here. Why can I not hit a plus sign? Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I've done that before, and it's pretty cool. Where's the? I just want a plus sign. This will be plus. I'll just call it glottalized for now. And that will not. This will be one place where, like, aspirates get preserved in these glottalized geminates. Oh, no, sorry. This only happens to this. That's not what I mean. If it's aspirated, and I mean, depending on how we work it, this could become and let's see, do we want to condition this to when there's a vowel before, or do we want to have initial initial geminates? I think actually at stage at the end of the first stage, we can have this like initial geminate, and then we will kill that later, right? And this can end up with interesting patterns when we do delineation.
I want to go upstairs.
Okay, you go on upstairs.
But I can't carry all my stuff.
Okay, let me help you carry stuff. And Jake, I did not say that we weren't. I said that we were not doing S nasal. Although I might be persuaded to go back on that so we could have voiceless nasals. We'll see. Yeah, I think this will work. So if we can quickly run up a test on that. Let's see. Yeah, this is not necessarily where it will be in the order. I'd have to decide whether I want to do this before some vowel change or not, but we'll have to see. But if we have S, so we'll have this all happen at once, right? Oh, I don't want that. Let it just happen all the time, right? TS, and then TS becomes S, right? Then H and I'm remembering that right. Then so we're going to have this happen. So this actually, I'm going to say, is actually plus constricted. Then I'm going to add a diacritic for constricted. And I'm going to also have a symbol H, and this is going to be my glottal width. This is, you know, just to get the rules to sort out properly. And then, so we have a so when we have a that is index 1 is 1. B. I do wish there was a commenting thing, a way to do comments on this, because I don't like deleting syntax. It's going to be not glottal width. That's not how you actually do it, but this is the way I'm going to have to do it right now. So let's, we have one S2. So I need to figure out why there we go. So if we have, and let's go do us do. So we get atu, 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 and adu. Perfect. Okay, so, and this happens also if we get rid of the A. Yeah, okay. So then after that, we'll need to define the fricatives. So once we have that, then we can simply say that all the remaining aspirates become fricatives. Yeah, this is what happened in Korean. I'm cribbing this exactly from Korean. Okay. Yeah. The distinctions may actually collapse in the final form a little bit more, but we will get some interesting. We'll probably get some interesting irregularities from this kind of thing. Like if we add an S prefix to things, then it can do things. If we delete initial vowels. Now, so then after that, and then we'll have to define all of our voiceless approximants. I will do that off screen. And we'll have to define all of our fricatives. And then after that, then we will have a lenition rule happen. And this is going to be a lenition rule that is a Sunday rule. It occurs across word boundaries, which will be the beginning of our consonant mutations. So we will have one consonant mutation that all of them share. If you look at the insular Celtic languages, then they have this. Now, the lenition, you have different options for the lenition. You can just go intervocalic, right? So what I'm planning here is, a consonant becomes, any stop becomes a fricative in the environment between two vowels. That's definitely a way to do it. This will mean that our we'll have the geminates that we're creating will be protected. And then if they undergo degemination, then we will have a class of words that doesn't have the lenition mutation, which will be interesting. You don't have to do this. You can do, so like, you can have one option is between two vowels. Another option is between sonorants. So not just vowels, but also nasals and not just between vowels, but you could also have between a nasal and a vowel, or a vowel and a nasal, or between a vowel and a glide, those kind of things. That, I think, is probably where we would go. We'll have to actually define what we call a sonorant, because we need to think about, in some cases, we will have nasals. And then we have to, when we're doing this, we've got to choose whether this happens before or after this change, because this is a vowel becoming a syllabic consonant. Right? And so if we have a vowel can become a syllabic consonant and an obstruent to boot, what exactly is the effect? Now, I kind of don't want this to... I'm kind of two minds of this. One thing I thought of was to have this happen, to have something else happen before this, where we would have vowels devoice. So like one thing we could do is we can have, let's just put it here. We'll just have this. Well, I will put this rule here to say that it happens before this happens. We could have this happen where when you have an aspirated consonant, right? You have a vowel that occurs after an aspirated consonant. There's a few different ways we could do this. Vowel becomes, and I will just say devoiced. But what's happening is, well, we can say becomes glottal with, because what it happens is it takes the aspiration feature over to the vowel. The aspiration, that's glottal width, that's the width of your glottis. When you pronounce a vowel with your glottis wide open, you whisper. That's breathy voice. That's what breathy voice or whisper is. Breathy voice is not quite as open, but basically the feature is usually the same but basically we get voiceless vowels. And then with that vowel devoicing, a devoiced E will instead become not that one. And so you'd have a distinction of ksht and ksht. And I think if I do it this way, what I will actually do is we have this become, this is becomes and I don't know how to do the there we go. Is that the voiceless? I think that's a different one. I'll just do that. But basically, we actually lose the aspiration from the consonant. And then that's another way that aspirated consonants do not end up becoming the vowel. So that's an option. I'm thinking to say well, so a thing to ask is like, where is this going to happen? Is this going to happen all the time? Or is it going to happen only before another consonant? Or is it going to happen only before another stop? Right? And the other thing is, like, this would also be another place where we get voiceless glides too. Is we could have this happen not just to vowels, but also to glides, right? So how far away does it have to be to not be in the numbered list? don't understand the way Word auto formats things sometimes. There we go. We have glide. There we go. So, if we're going to do this, I can see where the aspiration, I could see this being compatible with any of these. Obviously, this, if it's going to do a whole vowel, then it's going to be fine. But like it could only penetrate this far and not do anything to a vowel. Right? Because it would only be like just the first part of the vowel that it's doing, unless there's another obstruent. And there's another option here, is if this is not voiced. If it's not voiced. So I think that's where I'm at. And I think that I am going to have to end this here. But I think I will make a poll of this particularly in order to get patrons involved here to decide exactly where our devoicing will happen. But we're close to time, and I kind of don't want to start anything new, and I also kind of want to get to the kids right now. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for putting up with the issues that I've had. And next week, hopefully we will be able to like do more stuff because of the new schedule, which is going to be Saturday. The next stream will be Saturday the 12th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time, so that I don't have like this awkwardness running into things. Okay? Happy conlang.